26 of the 100-Day Reality Challenge. And I actually did do some reading in the book by Louise Hay. I read chapter 3, and basically that was trying to help you find out why you feel that you are not good enough. Because in her, in the way that she explains it, she basically says that the reasons why we have the problems that we do in our life is because we feel that we are not good enough. So we attract situations to validate that we feel that we're not good enough. So, for example, she had an exercise in there, which I kind of did mentally. I know with the second reading of the book, I don't know if I'm going to do a second reading. I might just go through it like this the first time and do the exercises on the vlog, because I don't see myself going through this book a second time. So, the exercise in the book said for us to list the negative things that we were told as children. And she said to take about a half hour and remember them. And I think I would be at my lowest point in half an hour remembering all the terrible things that were said to me as a kid. So I didn't do a half an hour, but some of the things that were said to me when I was a kid, and I hope I don't cry through this. I was questioned a lot with the decisions that I made. If I chose blue instead of red, it was always like, why are you doing that? Why don't you just pick the red one, I was called dumb, dumb, dummy by my aunt when I couldn't get my times tables. I had a really hard time understanding math, and reading came really easy. I could read anything, but math to me seemed like another language and I didn't understand it. And while I was doing my math homework one day, and my mother had to keep on trying to explain to me, and my aunt was like, "You're just so dumb. You're just a dumb, dumb dummy." And I remember crying until I heard why I wasn't, and her reiterating the fact that I was, because I wasn't able to get my times tables and do my math homework. So that made me feel like I was never ever going to be good at math. And to this day, I still tell myself that I'm really horrible at math, when in actuality, I'm pretty okay in math. But that's something that still stays with me. I was told by my aunt that I was not a real girl because I didn't like to get dressed up and to be pretty and to look nice. I liked to go around in the apartment barefoot. I didn't like to have my hair combed, and I sat really terrible in the chair. Like, I would have a dress on and my legs would be all wide open, and just kid stuff. You don't care about that stuff when you're that young. But that's what she told me. So, for a long time, I felt that I wasn't attractive and that no one would want to be with me. And even now, I still have the understanding that there's boys and there's girls and then there's me. And I am the other. And for a long, long time, I didn't put any effort into grooming my outside appearance. I really didn't care because I didn't, just like, no one's looking at me, no one's gonna look at me, so why does it matter? And it hasn't been until recently that I started really wearing makeup and dressing myself well and caring. And even now, it's sometimes a struggle because my mind is always telling me, who's looking? Who's going to be looking at you? No one's looking. Who cares? So there's that. I was called fat by my grandmother when I was 5, and she made me wear a girdle, and um, I was made fun of when I was walking because I used to walk up until I was about age 11 or 12. And when I walked, because of my condition, my stomach would really kind of stick out. And my center of gravity was kind of different because my muscles were so weak. So my stomach would really kind of stick out, and I kind of waddled from side to side. And I was made fun of by my grandmother because she said that when I would stand up, she saw that my stomach was sticking out so much. And she said that I was fat and that I need to go on a diet. And she made me wear a girdle. And I remember her, me being on my bed, like before I went to sleep, and she would ask why my boobs seemed like they were growing in, and that it was just fat, and that I had to smack them back in. And she would take a wooden spoon and smack my boobs. I was like 5 or 6. So that helped me to be detached from my body, and for a long time I had no attachment, and there are sometimes that I don't now. I don't have an attachment to my body and my sensuality and my sexuality as a woman. I am just a person, and I don't feel genderless, and I'm not asexual. I'm just, I just don't take my body into considerations a lot of times. So I'll push myself and push myself and push myself until my body collapses or gives up on me, and I get sick or I'm seriously ill or something. So when I was younger, my mom would always say, "What's wrong with you?" When I would do something and she didn't approve of it, she would always say, "What's wrong with you?" And if I did something that didn't come out right, she would always say, "What did you do wrong?" And those are a lot of things that I carry with me to this day. I'll say, "What's wrong with me?" Or "What did I do that made this wrong?" And usually it's not me. It's something outside of me and outside of my control that winds up being wrong, but I always blame myself anyway. When I was younger, there was a situation that happened where I was sexually molested, and my aunt, she blamed me for that as well. And she blamed me for my mother not being happy, and that I didn't want my mother to be happy, and that's why I was making all of this up, and it wasn't true, but it was. And my mother sensed that it was true, and she protected me after she found out the best that she could. So it didn't happen again, but I still carry the knowledge or the guilt or whatever that is about seeing to other people's happiness, and however it is that I act will create or uncreate someone else's happiness. And there are times that I put myself in very not good situations to make someone happy, and at the end I wind up paying for it, and the people have no idea or really don't care or whatever. So those were some of the major things that I was told as a child about myself, which have stayed. And the chapter, sorry, I'm really trying not to shake. And the chapter went on to say that we shouldn't necessarily blame our parents because they were only doing what they knew how to do, and that the best way to deal with these things that we were told is to take responsibility for ourselves and our lives. And I really agree with that. I'm hoping that as I read further in the next chapters, that it'll show me how to fix these things that I've been told. Because I was told these things, and the things that I wound up internalizing from what I was told makes me keep putting myself in situations where those negative things that I was told get reinforced and validated. So, for example, I was with someone in my last relationship, and she had body issues, and I adopted some of those body issues. Before I met her, I was really coming around to loving my body and loving myself and doing things for my body and myself. And I felt like a really sensual type of person, a really sexual type of person. And by being with her and being rejected by her on occasions, I came to the understanding that I really was and am undesirable sexually or intimately. And that no one would want me because I'm not enough of a girly girl. I'm not enough. I don't have enough boobs. I'm not enough. I don't wear makeup. I'm not enough, And before I met her, I didn't feel that. I felt that I was enough. And after breaking up with her, I realized that I don't feel like I am enough. That no one would ever want to be with me again. And being with her was as good as it was going to get. So, those are the things that it brought up. She also said in the chapter that, we don't have to be afraid of our past. We don't have to, we don't have to get angry about it. We just have to start cleaning it up. And the book putting it in that context really is helping me to not hyperventilate and overreact about all the things that I just recounted. If anything, I'm really sad that as a 5 or 6 year old, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year old, that I was told some of these things and blamed for some of these things that I couldn't help. That is just, I don't know, it's just, I don't know. I just didn't know. So it makes me really sad that that had to happen that way. It makes me wish that it was different. The chapter also mentioned that we all have a little 3-year-old kid inside of us. And, thinking about all the things that this little 3-year-old me has had to endure, I'm treating the little 3-year-old me on the inside the same way that all the people who have ever abused me or taken advantage of me or hurt me have. And that makes me sad too, because I always felt that there was a little kid inside of me, and I always knew that I was nurturing her wrong. And I want to change that, and I want to nurture her right, because that little 3-year-old is my joy, and I can't keep killing her. I can't keep silencing her. I can't keep shaming her. I can't keep guilting her, because ultimately it's me that I'm doing those things to. So, day 26, and I'm on chapter 3 of Louise Hay's book. And I feel that I can go through this, and that it's going to be okay, and that I'll get to the other side, and I'll be better, and I won't feel so down and bad about myself. So, T26. I'll see you all tomorrow.